coming to the end of this first day. I would suggest, if you found the practice today difficult, that's good. A good sign. Because it's through the difficulties, the dukkha, the obstacles is where we learn. If everything is smooth and easy, we tend not to learn very much. We like it, of course. We like everything to be how we like, what we want. Comfortable, easy, no problems. But then we don't learn much about dukkha and its origin. What did the Buddha say? Dukkha is to be known, understood as dukkha. And this is one of the biggest obstacles in progress in the path of practice. We all want progress, we all want results, but we have to be willing to look at and understand dukkha for what it is. What do I mean by this? Well, so you're meditating and you have some pain in your body. That's an example of dukkha, what we call dukkha vedana, painful feeling in your body. As soon as you notice it, you want to move. You move your leg, you wriggle, maybe even get up. You don't want to learn from it, normally speaking, naturally. We don't want to look at it. Or if something unpleasant happens during our day, we want to find a way to get away from it. If you're stuck in traffic, you just want to get out of the traffic jam. If someone at work criticizes you, you want to get away. You're uncomfortable, don't want it, don't like it. If we're at home and our family member says something we don't like, don't agree with, we just walk away into the next room or pretend we didn't hear. We're always moving away, trying to escape from dukkha rather than understand what's going on. Rinpoche Sumedho used to talk about this time when he was first in England as a monk. Rinpoche sent him, he was setting up the first monastery there. So this is almost 50 years ago, a long time ago. If you've ever set up a monastery in the West, then you know there's lots of problems and difficulties, lots of dukkha. And Ajahn Chah was coming to visit him, and Ajahn Sumedho thought, oh, Ajahn Chah's going to ask me how it's going. But if I tell him there's lots of problems and difficulties, he's not going to be impressed. He's going to think we're not doing very well, so I better keep quiet. You might say it's a natural kind of reaction. So when Lumpur Cha arrived, he said, okay, so how's it doing here? How are you doing? And Ajahn Sumedho said, everyone's fine, it's all good, no problems. Ajahn Chah wasn't impressed. He said, oh, there'll be no wisdom here then. Where does wisdom come from? We call this wisdom part. Where does the wisdom come from? It comes from dukkha. Treating dukkha correctly, learning from it. Understanding the nature of dukkha, understanding the origin of dukkha, the craving, the attachment that underlies it and brings it up in our experience. This is why we have to rely a lot on patience, diligent effort, mindfulness. Sometimes we have to put up with our own moods. We all want peace and bliss, of course. We've been working hard and doing everything we do, so you come on retreat, you say, oh, now is my time, I want my bliss, my happy, peaceful state of mind. Actually, that may not be the best. First you want a bit of dukkha so you can learn. Of course nobody likes dukkha, nobody wants dukkha. The bliss will come later from understanding that craving and attachment are the source of dukkha and letting go. Then you'll get the real bliss of letting go. But before you can let go, you have to know and understand what's going on. So the Buddhist practice is not always easy, not always simple. We have to be willing to look at ourselves as a human being, this body, this mind, our thoughts and feelings, and learn from it. You learn from the problems and the obstacles and the difficulties. One of the things we're doing in meditation is giving ourselves the tools to learn from experience. So when we're practicing mindfulness, the Buddha said this is the most beneficial quality we can have as a human being. Because when you're mindful, you're paying attention. When you're paying attention, you can know something, you can learn from it, you can look at it and understand it because you're paying attention. So Ajahn Chah used to say, if you're not mindful, so you're meditating and you notice your mind has drifted off into a daydream, imagination, he said, it's as if you're dead already. Even though you're not dead, you're sitting there, but you're not fully in control anymore, are you? Because you're not mindful. Your mind is wandering now. Perhaps you could modify that, say you're either dead or it really means the same thing. You're either dead or you're a ghost, like a ghost. Where do ghosts come from? Well, they're dead people. A ghost wandering around. Because you've let your mind go, and you're now just wandering, following the moods, the thoughts, the memories. And when we're not mindful, we can't learn anything of great significance. We can't understand the Four Noble Truths. We can't realize the Dhamma when we're not mindful. We're lost. Lost in our likes and dislikes, in our views and opinions. Earlier someone was asking about harmony and cooperation between people. Well, when we get lost in our views and opinions, we lose the harmony in our group, family or workplace very quickly. Because as soon as you are not mindful of holding on to an opinion, straight away you attach to that opinion, and if someone else has a different opinion about the way we should do things, it could be something very simple like the way we chant, or the way we meditate, or the way we clean the kitchen, or the way we do anything in life. As soon as you've got two different people with different opinions on something and not mindful, you've got a problem. You start to have maybe disagreement, and the less mindful you are, the less you realize that you're clinging onto your opinion is an attachment and a cause of suffering. You won't see that, so you cling on. So you get an argument, and you get conflict, and if it keeps going, well, you end up with what we know in the news. You end up with wars and all kinds of problems in the world because people are clinging tightly and they don't see it. They don't see it as the cause of suffering. But here we're in a position to meditate, bring up the mindfulness, and you start to see where you're suffering, it's where you're clinging. That's why you keep hearing this teaching, let go, let it be, let go. So it means you have to look at the suffering, be ready to look at suffering and learn from it. And as I said, we don't like that, we don't want to do that. You build your home to escape suffering. Come into your home, put on the aircon if it's hot, put your things down, you've got nice furnishings to keep you comfortable, you've got a fridge and a kitchen full of food, you've got computers, gadgets, TV screens everywhere so that you can, you sit down and say, oh, I worked hard today, I'm really tired. And somebody says, oh, let's meditate. You say, no, let's watch the movie instead. Let's listen to the music instead. There's something else you can do to take you away from the feeling of tiredness or the distraction or your problem. Meditation is often the last thing we think of when we're suffering. Someone says, sit down and watch your mind when you're suffering. It doesn't sound very attractive. Monks understand this point, because often there's really nothing else you can do. If you're in a monastery and you have suffering, there's not a lot of distraction, there's not a lot of furnishings and entertainments. You can't even eat in the evening anyway. You actually have to look at your suffering, and that's why you progress a bit quicker, because you're forced to look at suffering and understand, oh, this suffering is coming from my clinging. But at home, it's like geared up to hide suffering. Get the nice temperature, the nice comfortable feeling, have a nice shower, have nice food, nice entertainment, talk to your friends, do this, do that. That's why everyone finds meditation at home challenging, difficult. It's just set up to make you not mindful. Where do we have all our problems in life? A large part is actually at home. Arguments, home, disagreements, home, all kinds of attachments, home. You can't behave like you do at home when you go to work, because you lose your job. You can't go in and see your boss and start telling him what you think of him, and you should do this, you should do that, nagging your boss like you do your family members. You're on your best behavior, so actually you're more mindful at work. You're careful, do your job, get things done, which is good, of course. But when you come home, maybe that's the one time you let go. But not let go with wisdom and mindfulness. You let go as in follow your defilements, relax, say what you think, whatever's on your mind, speak it out, which is not always a good idea. Do indulge desires, sleep, eat, entertain. You might say none of this is inherently wrong, but I'm just giving you an idea. This is one of the obstacles for practicing the Buddhist path, is that we love to run away from dukkha rather than look at it and learn from it. Here, this is your chance. You're actually coming to scrutinize, look closely at dukkha. And so it's hard work. You feel, oh, I have to sit here. It takes effort. Maybe you're feeling sleepy or tired or pain. Your mind is distracted. But you have to keep working at it. Keep going and sitting, walking, listening to the talk. Hopefully this is helping you to get an idea of how to practice with dukkha. So we're all becoming dukkha experts. Often people think they're a dukkha expert because maybe they have a lot of dukkha in their life. They have illness, or they have problems with money, or problems in the family, and they say, oh, my life is full of dukkha, Ajahn. They come and tell me every day. But they're not yet expert, because they're not really seeing dukkha as a noble truth yet. They just know there's suffering, and everyone knows, oh yeah, life is suffering, problems. But they don't really know with mindfulness and wisdom. It's more just you're aware you have dukkha, but you don't yet see it as a noble truth, you don't yet see the path, the way out of dukkha. You just know there's dukkha around. Unfortunately, we often go the wrong way in trying to remedy our dukkha. We do the wrong thing, we make it worse. You can't do that here, say, so like a very obvious one, when you're feeling upset with another person, that's dukkha, isn't it? You have a strong feeling, maybe physical pain or tension, mental, a lot of thoughts and proliferation. Maybe someone's upset you. What do you do if you're at home or some kind of relaxed place where you might let off steam when you tell them something? Oh, you did this, you're wrong, I don't like you, blah, blah, blah. You let it out. And you think, you've got rid of your dukkha, now you're fine. No, because you weren't mindful, you maybe didn't keep the precepts, you weren't mindful, you weren't reflective perhaps. You let that dukkha out, well, it'll come back twice as hard. Maybe straight away someone will say something back to you, and the situation gets worse. Or you yourself feel some regret. If you don't keep your precepts of speech, action, then you remember what you've said and done, you don't feel happy to do it. You feel uncomfortable. At the time, because you weren't fully mindful, weren't insightful, you maybe thought the way out of this dukkha is just say what's on my mind, do what I want to do. But then later it catches up, you realize that wasn't the way to go. So we have to learn this. Sometimes we have to learn through mistakes, learn through regrets. We learn through karma, don't we? The Buddhist teaching on karma we chanted tonight. I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, I'm responsible for my karma, good and bad, it will come back to me. This is a fundamental reflection we can use every day because it makes us mindful, careful. You realize when we aren't careful, mindful, we do things that harm ourselves, harm others, and then the karma comes back to us and we have dukkha. Whereas when you keep the precepts, you practice mindfulness, and you listen and reflect on the Dhamma, you're starting to prevent yourself from making negative karma then. You start to feel the benefits. When you keep the precepts, you're not harming anybody. You can feel at ease in yourself. Hopefully you can realize that. You realize, this is reducing my dukkha already straight away. Maybe other people around you don't understand this. Work or at home, they don't know Buddhism or they don't practice Buddhism, so they may break the precepts, say or do things that hurt themselves, hurt others. You can feel sorry for them, you wish them well, but actually the main thing you have to do is learn how to practice for yourself. Once you understand how dukkha arises, then you have to practice accordingly. So the first area of practice is the precepts, isn't it? You realize when I don't keep the precepts, I create suffering for myself. Ajahn Chah used to say, if you think that thought, the negative thought, the harmful thought, be very careful, because you keep thinking it and holding on, you'll say it, you'll do it. Then you'll regret it. Dukkha, that's how dukkha comes, isn't it? You're angry and you speak it out. We say you speak your mind. But if it's done in anger, usually the other person will feel the anger, they're not happy, and then you feel your own regret. Ajahn Chah, one of the first teachings I picked up on from Ajahn Chah was that if you're not sure, don't say it, don't do it. Err on the side of caution. Especially for monks, we have lots of rules, and sometimes you're not quite sure. Am I going to break a rule here? You're in situations where you have to make choices, decisions, so you're careful. And you see the way to keep you out of trouble is actually to be cautious and don't do it. Say maybe a piece of food, monks, we can only eat food if it's been offered into the hand of a monk. So you see some food, but you're not sure whether it's offered, so you don't pick it up. Your mind will say, pick it up. I want to eat that. That's desire. But your wisdom and your training will say, be careful. Maybe it hasn't been offered, so you're careful. because you're not sure. You err on the side of caution. Same with speech. You're going to say something you're not sure whether it's true or not, or whether it will hurt someone's feelings or not. Maybe it's the right time or not the right time, you're not sure. Maybe don't say it. Be careful. So precepts at the beginning of this learning to deal with dukkha, understanding that our actions come back to us, karma, good and bad, and we have to be responsible for what we say and do. If you live with other people or mix with other people who keep precepts, then you tend to keep the precepts better yourself. So on retreat, everyone is very careful what they say, no arguments, no fights, nobody's lying as far as I know, nobody's being abusive or unkind. So retreat is a very pleasant time. That's because of the effort you're putting in to keep right speech, be mindful. You're not creating the causes for dukkha on that level. So when you keep the precepts, you feel relaxed, happy inside, if only for a while. And the longer you practice with the precepts, the better at it you'll get. You'll stop yourself from making unnecessary dukkha. Every meditator knows this one. If you lose your mindfulness and you end up disagreeing with someone, like those dogs outside having a big argument, rah, 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 rah. Nobody can stop them until they run out of their own energy, then they'll stop. But humans can be like that too. You see, after you've had a big argument with someone, then you go and try and meditate. What's it like? Very difficult. You can't even sit still. You're all stirred up, shaky, got all the adrenaline going. And if you try to, say, watch the breath, you're just thinking so many thoughts about what you said, what you should have said, what you didn't say, what they said, what's right, what's wrong. 100 thoughts a second when you're stirred up, say after an argument. It's the hardest time to meditate. That's because it's dukkha, but maybe your mindfulness and your wisdom is not yet developed enough to calm yourself down. In the monastery, where if you've just had an argument, you don't expect to be able to just sit down and meditate. There's too much dukkha going on. So usually the teacher will say, go and do walking meditation. And don't come back until your mind has calmed down. Go away, walk back and forth, walk back and forth. Eventually your mind settles down and you can come back because you're calm. You can try that at home if you've had a big argument. Don't continue arguing, obviously. Try to stop, slow down, maybe realize it's not good for you, not good for them. And if you can't sit still, or go outside or go somewhere, just go for a walk and let yourself calm down. It's a very simple but effective way to re-establish mindfulness and to let that dukkha subside in a skillful way. Sila is learning how to deal with dukkha skillfully, rather than making more dukkha, extra dukkha, double dukkha. We keep the precepts, so even inside sometimes we have anger, lust, desire, greed, fear. We don't act out of those defilements because we keep precepts. That's the first practice of how to deal with dukkha skillfully, to recognize keeping precepts frees you from dukkha, stops you making bad karma. It's for your own benefit. Yesterday one of the monks I met in town was telling me a story. He was in the forest and he met another monk. He'd been meditating in the forest one day. As a monk in the forest, when there's wild animals and things around you, all you have is your precepts. They're that important. You've got no protection. You don't even have a building. You don't have weapons or any kind of protection. All you've got is your precepts. You just trust in your own mindfulness, your restraint, your loving kindness, and your care. So this monk was meditating breathing in, breathing out, and he heard a crashing noise in the forest next to him. This is in the big jungle. And so he's opened his eyes from his meditation. And he's a monk, so he's very peaceful, very restrained. Suddenly this black panther comes rushing out of the forest. So the monk is kind of bubble. He looks, and the black panther runs straight past him as fast as he could, out into another bit of forest. The monk turns and looks at him, and the monk didn't do anything to frighten the wild cat. He just looked at it, and he realized, oh, the wild cat is gone. Good. Turned back to prepare to meditate again. He said, oh, that's good. I didn't threaten or do anything to the wild cat. The wild cat just ran off, and the problem, the precepts work. And then he realized he's got a leopard sitting right in front of him. He's like, huh? Where did this come from? And it turns out the leopard had been chasing the black cat. The black cat had run off, but the leopard had seen the monk, and the leopard got so shocked he just stopped there, right in front of the monk. So he's like, oh, what do I do now? But again, it's like testing. The first cat was testing his precepts. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to shout. I'm not going to be violent or do anything. I'll just sit tight. Now he's got a second wild cat, equally threatening, checking whether he really is keeping the precepts. So he said, yep, I'm just going to keep the precepts here. And he looked at the wild cat, and the wild cat looked at him, and their eyes met. But he said he just practiced metta. Some people might have fear, and then that might produce some violent thought. I'm going to get you, don't you touch me, blah, blah, blah. No, he just had metta. Their eyes met, and he said when their eyes met, the cat looked at him, and he scooted off, but in another direction, and back into the forest. So the presence of the monk, just by chance, actually saved the first cat, because one was chasing the other. Maybe they're fighting over territory or something. The important thing is the monk had precepts. He didn't make a situation worse because he was mindful, restrained, careful in that risky situation, and everything was good, happy ending. Actually, life is like that all the time. You may be just in your kitchen or your bedroom or wherever, and there's someone there, and you're tempted to argue or lose your temper or get upset. But you say, no, I'm going to be careful, mindful, restrained. And it saves you creating that unnecessary suffering. You may have a disagreement or a problem in your family, or it could be in your workplace as well, but you don't give in to the desire to speak in anger, act in anger. So you save yourself suffering. And if you've ever done that, and you've mindfully restrained yourself, you were angry, but you said, no, I'm not going to speak or act in anger here, because I know it will only cause more suffering. So you mindfully restrain yourself. That's like a victory for the Dhamma. And you can use that to teach yourself again. It's like, oh, this suffering, you may feel inside, you feel a lot of tension in that situation. But if you don't speak out or act on it, what will happen to the feeling of tension there? It's going to just fade away, isn't it? You're not indulging it, you're not acting on it, it's just going to dissolve. Maybe quite quickly, might take a bit of time, but you're not making it worse. And lots of you and others probably notice, when you're meditating, there'll be times when you feel there's tension in your body, your mind is not peaceful, maybe when you think of something that makes you upset. What do? Well, you keep precepts, you consciously, mindfully say, I'm not going to act on this, I'm not going to take my painful feeling out on anyone, myself included. I'm just going to be very patient, keep the precepts, be mindful, and you can watch that painful feeling subside and pass away. So whether you're on the meditation cushion, or you're at work, or you're at home there, or you're driving your car, there's all these situations where you'll notice you're tempted to lose your temper, get upset, feel annoyed with yourself or someone. But you use the precepts and the practice of mindfulness to restrain yourself, and you save yourself lots of dukkha, lots of mental and physical pain in that situation. There's someone I know in hospital in Melbourne at the moment, and they're really suffering with their illness. They have very serious illness. They're in ICU unit, and a bit touch and go. And you can see the most important thing for them at the moment is just to be mindful of their stress level, because when your body is very weak and there's problems, internal problems with organs and things, your state of mind will really affect your recovery. If you can keep more calm, mindful, patient, that's going to help your body to relax, and your immune system and your recovery system in your body will work better. So that's my teaching to them. Stay calm, be mindful, don't give in to the anxiety and the worries, the fears. Just stay calm, trust the doctor, and keep your mind in the present moment. That's your number one, was my advice to that patient. Number one duty is keep your mind calm. And then your body will be more relaxed and you can recover. That's what you learn from meditation. You may just have a bit of leg pain or back pain or something, but it's exactly the same principle. You can stay calm, mindful. You still have that pain there, but you're not creating extra suffering out of it. Then maybe the pain will gradually fade, or if it's still there, your attachment to it will fade, and you can just be with the pain. It's just the same as when you're in a situation where you're tempted to be angry with someone, or say something, do something. Just the same, but now we're talking about an internal physical pain maybe. You have to treat it with mindfulness, stay calm, stay patient, and observe that it's just a painful feeling, not make it worse. Or the same for mental trauma, mental, bad, unpleasant, painful memories about other people and things that have happened. These may come up. You do the same. You have to say, well, this is some suffering, it's old karma arising. But your job, as you're becoming mindful of it, is say, well, I don't want to make this worse than it is. If you have a painful memory, okay, you have to accept that's a painful memory. Something unpleasant has happened in the past, maybe right back to when you were a kid, or it could be just what happened yesterday. You have that memory come up and it triggers again, and you feel uncomfortable in yourself, you feel some negative thoughts come up, some emotions come up. What do? Do you make that worse by indulging it, continuing on with thinking those negative thoughts, holding on, getting upset, angry, feeling sorry, sad for yourself, depressed? Or do you establish mindfulness and say, okay, I have this unpleasant memory, I'll be aware of it, and now I'll just let it go. Let it be. I'm not going to add on to the suffering of it, I'm not going to make it worse. We've all got some awkward or unpleasant memories that we have. The important thing is, how do you treat them when they come up? That's where you need your mindfulness. That's what you'll notice as you're meditating. You're meditating here, there'll be times when you get unpleasant memories pop into your mind. How do you treat them? Do you hold on to them? Attachment? Cling on to them? Let more craving and attachment take over, and you're suffering there, remembering things? Sometimes on meditation retreats, people are sitting there crying. You ask, why are you crying? They say, oh, this terrible thing happened to me before, 10 years ago, and it's coming up. I said, well, okay, this is the best place for it to come up, because now you can treat it with mindfulness, patience, in a good, peaceful environment. And now you let it go. Just let it be. It's just a memory. When we're busy at work or doing things, travelling or going here, going there, often when these things come up, it's very difficult to treat them wisely, isn't it? But if you're in a retreat, maybe you may have some unpleasant memories. Now you can treat them wisely, with mindfulness, with understanding. It's just dukkha. Don't make more dukkha out of it. Dukkha is just dukkha, let it arise, let it pass away. Sometimes I think the most unnecessary dukkha that people get caught into is all the proliferation and worry about the future. Things that have not happened yet, and yet we can be sitting there paralyzed with fear and anxiety, depressed. You ask someone, why are you so depressed? Oh, because this might happen. It hasn't happened yet, and you don't know what's going to happen, but you've already assumed it will happen. You've already assumed the worst, you think the worst, and then you make suffering for yourself out of something that hasn't even occurred yet, somewhere in the future. It's just an idea at the moment. What is the future? It's just an idea, it's just a thought. But sometimes, everyone's character is different, but some characters will love to make the worst possible scenario in the future. What if this happens? What if that happens? The world is going to end. Someone rang up today and said, it sounds like World War III is about to start. I said, don't worry, I'm at Wisdom Park meditating. I don't know if World War III is about to start. Probably not. But if it is, well, this is the best place to be, isn't it? Meditate through it. Don't make it worse. And certainly don't believe all these thoughts about things that haven't happened yet. But we do. When we're not mindful, we're not aware, we'll already project onto the future, whether it's money problems, health problems, politics, world war problems, what other people are going to think of us. How often do you hear yourself or someone else say, what are they going to think of us when we do this, or when this happens? You don't know. It hasn't happened yet. Other perceptions about other people are very uncertain. Maybe they'll think better than you realize. Maybe they'll be happy with you. Maybe nothing will happen. You really don't know about the future. You could only guess or make educated guesses about the future. You can't know for sure. So don't invest too much emotion and belief in thoughts about the future, because you may be wrong. One of the ways we do it in the monastery is if you're an anxious person, always creating suffering about what may happen, what's going to happen to me in my life, will this happen, will that, thinking the worst, thinking the bad things, always counter it with a question, what if that bad thing doesn't happen? You get some symptoms of illness. What if I've got cancer or some terrible illness? What if I'm going to die? Or you can ask the same question, what if I'm not going to die? What if I don't get cancer, or what if it's not terminal and they treat it and I recover? That's equally possible, isn't it? Many people every day recover from all kinds of illnesses that they previously were thinking the worst, thinking this is going to be terrible, terrible outcome, oh no, what's going to happen? Why me? We do that. We make suffering out of nothing. Nothing has happened, and maybe nothing will happen. You really don't know. I remember many years ago, one family, they rang up, a Malaysian family living in Melbourne. The daughter had a lump on her neck. It's a lump, you've got to come quickly. Like monks are kind of emergency service or something. You've got to rush there, you've got to do your chanting, do your meditation, you've got to solve this problem. Okay, out of compassion I'll come. And just turned out to be a benign lump. Because people get it. I've got a benign lump on my neck. I've had it for many, many years. No problem. That that lady, she had a lump, but it turned out nothing. It was fine, no problem. If I'd been a bit sneaky, I'd have said, "Oh, my chanting must have helped you." I didn't. I said, "Look, it's just a benign lump. Just be thankful." But as soon as you feel the lump, you think the worst. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Why do we do that? Our mind just loves to create suffering out of not very much at all. Fear is the same. Fear of ghosts. Maybe here you go out at night, it's dark, you see a shadow, you hear a sound. What's that? What's that? Your mind always jumps one step ahead already. You're thinking the worst. It must be some bad guy or some wild animal or some ghost. Maybe it's just the wind on a few leaves. Ask this question. Maybe it's not what I think it is. Maybe the world won't end. Maybe I'm not going to get terminal cancer. Maybe it's not a ghost. Maybe it's not anything dangerous. Maybe it's not as bad as I think. That's wisdom in action. You can use wisdom as much as mindfulness. Mindfulness is like paying attention. What's going on here? Oh, I'm caught into fear, anxiety. So you establish the awareness, and that helps you know what's going on, what the problem is. Then the wisdom comes in. Oh, I'm creating this suffering now, thinking these negative thoughts about something that hasn't happened yet. So you teach yourself, don't do that. Let it go. Or maybe it won't be as bad as you think. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself. That's the use of wisdom with mindfulness to solve suffering. And that's the Four Noble Truths in practice. You may find you've already been doing that in your life, but only sometimes with some things. Maybe we can do it with the small things, the little things. Bigger things, you find it too difficult. But actually you have to use the same technique, same principle, even with the big things. Look at the Buddha. Why could the Buddha sit under the Bodhi tree on the night of his enlightenment? He said, I'm not going to get up, even if all my blood dries up and all that's left is just skin and bones. I'm not going to get up until I've removed all my craving and attachment, the causes of suffering from my heart. I'm not going to stop. Why could he do that? Because he's been training in this whole practice of seeing and understanding the Four Noble Truths over and over again. He started with the small things, just like we'd have, some negative thoughts, some painful feelings, small things, but then he built up to the point where he could sit there and say, I'm not going to move until I free my mind from all attachment. But that's a step-by-step progress. And indeed, the Buddha did it a lot longer than anyone else. So, next time you are suffering and you say, why is my life so full of suffering? Ajahn, why do I have to go through all this pain? I can't go on anymore. You know how we whine and when we're suffering. Just remember, the Buddha went through much more than you did. Much more, many more times for longer. That's why he's a Buddha. Expert in suffering. That's all. What did the Buddha teach? He taught suffering and the end of suffering. That's what he said. If you want to reduce it right down, all the Tripitaka, Nalanda library has got all those books. You try and study and read it and understand it. Okay, that's helpful. But you reduce it all down. You boil it all down. It's just suffering arising and suffering ending. That's it. Where does it arise and end? In our mind. We create it, we do it to ourselves. It's not anyone else. All those people you like to blame for your problems, husband, wife, kids, parents, boss, neighbor, government, world. It's not, it's you. Through a lack of mindfulness, lack of wisdom, you create your own suffering. That's why we're here, to practice, to see that. So whenever you do notice that you've created a bit of suffering, you become a little bit more aware and you let that go, there's a sense of relief. We call it liberation. We have all the Buddhist terms. We say Nirodha, we say Vimutti, we say Analeo, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the first teaching of the Buddha, has at the end has all those terms, doesn't it? Relinquishment, letting go, giving up what you were formerly attached to. Gives you the idea of what you're doing. When you see something that you're holding on is causing you suffering, let it go. And when you do that, you feel this relief, the peace, the happiness of letting go with wisdom. And that's different from letting go by just hiding away, which is what we do when we're tired. Turn on the TV, listen to the music, whatever you do when you deal with your stress, your suffering. That's very temporary and often is creating more suffering in the process. When you do it with mindfulness and wisdom, precepts, mindfulness, insight, you get the liberation of heart from seeing suffering, seeing its cause, letting go of the cause. Your mind is free. You get a great boost of energy. You know this is really good for you when you do it. It may not be complete yet. We've still got to let go of more suffering. But once you understand the process, then you can keep doing it. Whether it's here, at home, wherever. You're seeing our craving and attachment is the problem. Near eyes here, not out there. So I have to come back and be more aware, mindful of what's arising in my own mind, and start letting go of that, abandoning it. Why do people not come on meditation retreats? Often it's because of the fear of any dukkha. My legs will hurt, I'll be tired, don't like the place, don't like the food, all the kind of inconveniences, because we're so used to our comforts. They actually, our attachment to comfort and convenience holds us back. So you've done something very brave. You've come out of your comfort zone to come here, meditate. That's something so useful for you. It's such powerful good karma. This is going to follow you all the way this life and into your next life. Why do some people sit down and meditate and very quickly they get peaceful? I mean peaceful from samadhi, very peaceful, very mindful, because they've done it before. If you ever meet someone or hear of someone like that, it's a time to practice mudita, sympathetic or altruistic joy. You hear someone, they meditate and they straight away they're getting peaceful, well, be happy for them. Our tendency is to be jealous, why they're not me. Been sitting here with all this pain. Actually, you should be happy for them, but it means they've been doing it before. Previous life, maybe. I know not everyone believes in past lives, future lives, but that would be the Buddha's explanation. They've meditated before, and so when they come to this life, they carry on, continue. You may have heard the story, you can read the biography of Meichi Gyao, the enlightened nun who was a disciple of Luang Por Man, died about 30 odd years ago. The very first time she meditated, she was 16. She was just a child. Never meditated before, but Luang Por Man came wandering and stopped in her village. So he was teaching the villagers to meditate. So she heard the talk, just like you. She sat down and she started meditating, and she didn't get up all night. So maybe not quite like you. She just sat there 7 hours or something like that. She went into jhana. Only 16, but very deep samadhi, because she'd been doing it in previous lives. That's how it works. It's cumulative. You keep practicing little by little the moments of mindfulness, the insight, the precepts as having a cumulative effect. So never be discouraged or think a waste of time, no good this meditation, didn't learn anything. Not true. It's cumulative. Sometimes you get quick results, sometimes slower. That first night she meditated, she went into jhana, she had one really powerful image. She actually saw herself as a corpse, dead. She was only 16, sitting there. So she didn't fully understand it maybe because she's young, but she's peaceful and she just watched it like a dream, she said. Like a dream, just watched herself being a corpse and then put in a coffin, and then they had a cremation and she was cremated in her mind's eye, but it was a very clear, vivid, powerful nimitta, vision of impermanence. What does this body, what is the story of this body? Well, one day it will get old, sick and die. Nobody can escape that. But most of the time we forget. Again, we're not mindful, are we? Not mindful of impermanence. We don't remember that we're going to die, get old. We're focusing on more enjoyable things. Where's the next meal? What am I going to eat? What am I going to do? When am I going to go to sleep? When's the monk going to stop talking? All the we're caught up with more mundane matters normally. But when your mind is very mindful, it becomes pure, doesn't it? And then with the purity, you get very good insight at that time. And that was insight kind of bubbling up from her past good karma. So she sees herself as a corpse. Oh, what does that mean? You probably had a bit of a shock, a realization, maybe felt a bit sad. But it also stirred so many good qualities. So she went to see Luang Por Man, told him what had happened, and Luang Por Man said, "Oh, yeah, this is good. I don't want you to meditate again." Because he was leaving, and he wanted to meditate because she was young and inexperienced, not so wise yet. He didn't want her to meditate on her own because her meditation was so good and the samadhi was so deep. He wanted her to stay close to a teacher when she meditated. So he said, "Wait till I come back, or there's a teacher." So she stopped meditating. Again, not like us. If any of you attain jhana tonight, will be meditating every day, get really into it. But she had to stop because she was young. She was a child, and she waited a while, a year or two. And eventually, of course, if you read her biography, you can see what happens. And she becomes a nun and becomes enlightened. So that's the cumulative effect of meditating, probably for many, many lifetimes. So don't get discouraged. You may, who knows where each one of us are in our spiritual progress, our spiritual path. Some people are further, some people are at the beginning. It's just normal. You don't have to think too much about that. But trust in the practice. The practice is for helping us to recognize craving and attachment are the cause of dukkha.